I'm Monsieur Bright, and I bet I can guess the number you're thinking of. I can feel you're full of doubt. Would you like to make a bet?
I'm pretty sure I can prove it to you. Think of a number between 1 to 10, including 1 and 10. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you what you've picked. That's not how my magic works, you see? Now I want you to multiply this number by 2. If your number is 3, when you multiply it by 2, it makes 6. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying 3 is the number you've picked, yet. This is just an example. After you multiply the number of your choice by 2, add 10 to the number you've got. In my example, that will make 16. The next thing you have to do is divide this number by 2. Check out the example. After the second step, I add 16. And after I divide it by 2, I got 8. And finally, I ask you to subtract 5. The result is the number you've chosen. I know I'm right. The magic works all the time. Do you remember our example? When I subtracted 5 from 8, I got 3, and that was indeed the number I began with. Are you impressed with my magic?
Great, but you know what? I won't stop here. For you, I will push my power to its limits. I want you to pick another number from 1 to 10 again. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions first. Then I'll look into my crystal ball and tell you who you really are.
If possible, get a pen and a piece of paper so that you'll remember your answers at the end. Or find some other way to note them down. Depending on the most common letter you'll choose, I'll tell you the number you've picked and explain what it says about you. And you know what? If I can't guess the number correctly and tell you a different number than the one you chose, maybe that means your subconscious mind is trying to tell you something. Or my crystal ball is trying to give you a hint. Ready? Let's begin. Here's your first question. Which one of these would you want to control? You can only pick one. A. Fire. B. Earth. C. Water. D. Air. E. Metal. F. Electricity. The next question is, what would be the perfect vacation for you? A. Sightseeing in New York. B. Renting a cozy cottage, reading a book under a tree, and having tea in the afternoon. C. Someplace near the sea. A tropical island would be perfect. D. A historical tour through Europe. You'd love to visit loads of museums. E. A place where you can party at night and chill during the day. F. Going on a road trip through the US with lots of hiking involved.
Here is the third question.
Is the number you've chosen even or odd? If it's odd, go ahead and write down letters A, C, D, and F. If it's even, then add letters A, B, and E. The next question I want to ask is, what's your dream job? A. A CEO. B. A chef. C. A writer. D. A professor. E. An event planner. F. An influencer.
Don't forget to write down the letter of your choice.
On to the next question then. Is the number you chose a prime number? Which is a number that is divisible only by itself and 1. If your answer is yes, then add letters C, D, E, and F to your answers. If your answer is no, then add letters A and B. I'm not done yet. Here's your fifth question. What do you spend most of your money on? A. Clothes. B. Dining out. C. New hobbies. D. Books. E. Buying presents for your loved ones. F. Traveling. Hope you're writing down your answers, because I have a couple more questions for you. What is or was your favorite subject at school? A. Math. B. Science. C. Arts. D. Philosophy. E. Literature. F. Physical education. Pick an animal. A. A lion. B. A lizard. C. A dolphin. D. An owl. E. A dog. F. An eagle. Pick something you'd like to eat. A. A steak. B. Spaghetti with meatballs. C. A Mediterranean salad. D. No time for food. I'll get coffee to keep me awake. E. Do desserts count? I have a sweet tooth. F. Oatmeal with fresh fruits. Can you divide your number by 3 evenly? If your answer is yes, you can write down C and E on your paper. If your answer is no, then write down A, B, D, and F. Okay, now can you divide your number by 5 evenly? If your answer is yes, write down A and F. If your answer is no, then write down B, C, E, and D. Choose a symbol. A. A star. B. The yin-yang. C. The triquetra. D. The moon. E. A heart. F. Wings. And the last question is, what kind of movies do you like the most? A. No movies for me. I prefer procedural drama shows. B. Comedies with clumsy characters. C. Fantasy movies with characters who have magical powers. D. Mystery movies where I have to figure out who's guilty. E. Rom-coms that end with, and they lived happily ever after. F. Science fiction movies in which characters explore new planets. Have you written down your answers? What is the most common letter? Here's what my crystal ball says about you. If you have mostly A, then your number is either 1 or 10. You're a strong-willed and determined person. Things are often either black or white for you. There is no gray color in your world. You value success. You're hardworking and confident. That's why you would do great in leadership positions. You don't like changes. But try to keep in mind that it's an inevitable part of life. It can also do you a lot of good if you learn to accept things just the way they are. If you've chosen mostly B, then your number is either 4 or 8. You're a calm person, and you're mature beyond your years. You're down to earth and realistic at the same time. You accept the fact that life is not a bed of roses. It has its ups and downs, but that shouldn't stop you from dreaming big and working hard. If you have plenty of C's, then your number is either 3 or 9. You're a lucky individual. One can say good fortune follows you wherever you go. You love nature and you feel strongly connected to it. This allows you to see the bigger picture in life. You're dreaming of making the world a better place with your achievements. Don't forget to trust your abilities because you're more than capable of doing that. If you've chosen loads of D's, then your number is 7. This is a magical number, and it means that you're a spiritual person. You value wisdom and knowledge above all else. That's why you dedicate your time to learning new things. You believe that the more you know, the better you can understand life. You always tell and want to be told the truth, even if it might hurt. But not knowing things is what you dislike the most. If you have mostly E, then your number is either 2 or 6. You're an optimist and a dreamer. That's why you can always expect things to go your way. But if they don't, you get devastated pretty quickly. And yet, you never stop believing that everything will be okay in the end. You always know how to cheer people up, and everybody loves being around you. Don't forget to cheer yourself up as well from time to time. And last but not least, if you picked mostly F, then your number is 5. You're a free spirit who loves trying new things and going on adventures. You're all about enjoying life and living it to the fullest. And you're not afraid of making big decisions because you're not afraid of new experiences. You're not the regretting type of person. Whatever you go through, you see it as a lesson and a new challenge.